Yahoo! All right, everybody. Hello and welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to hell. I invited in $300,000 in October. And yes, I claim it. I did it. And I just want to share that with you because I have studied the laws of attraction, how to manifest, all of the laws of spirituality, universal laws, and I believe in them. I know that they work. I know that they're there, but I hadn't been able until recently to really get it to work. So with that being said, I'm going to share a little bit about me. I'm Susan Kennedy. I coach, holistic mentor. I work with holistic practitioners who want to make more money. You know what? My real joy in life is helping people get what it is that they want. And if that's a business for you, if that's a relationship for you, if that's money, if it's opportunities, that's what I am here for. So I've had 20 years in corporate America, and I've gone from systems engineer all the way up to, I've been, the last job I had was a marketing manager for a telecommunications company. But my favorite parts of my job were when I facilitated cross-functional teams, when I facilitated a process called DACM, where I would sit with a room of engineers and facilitate what they did for a living and help them build their programs. So I'm a good builder, I'm a good facilitator, and I'd like to share with you my journey since then. After leaving corporate and studying homeopathy and practicing for 6 years, and I left homeopathy because it wasn't my soul calling. I believe in all things holistic everything, because that's what we are. We're holistic. We're a body, we're a spirit, we're energy, and nothing works in a vacuum. So holistic is my middle name, Susan Holistic Kennedy. And I just wanted to share my story from a couple of years ago because this has touched quite a few people. I decided to build a coaching business, and I've coached before. I've coached in corporate America, and I've coached individuals before, and I was a holistic practitioner. I just didn't know how to build a business. So I hired a mentor to get to work on that. And that part, either I resisted or it just came really hard for me. So in the beginning, I love to learn. So I'm learning. That's fun. But then I have to go put it into application. And I struggle. It's difficult to think through, like today. I mean, like this webinar, doing the whole webinar. You've got to send out emails. You've got to figure out a name for it. So why did I want to build a business? Because my family was in huge credit card debt. And that's a whole nother story. And maybe we'll do another webinar on that. But I figured that if I could make 10, 20, 25K a month, I could get that credit card debt paid off in no time. So that was one of my big ones. I mean, I really wanted to work with people in this way. So don't get me wrong, that's a huge why. But what else, did I want to travel? I've been a lot of places. I've done a lot of things. That wasn't foremost on my mind. The debt was. And so I'm trying to build my business thinking, wow, $5,000 a month isn't going to make a dent, and that $10,000 isn't. And so it got to be such a drudge to even think about building my business, because I was investing in myself. So by the time I invested and paid off debt, there's no money left over for me, for fun, my freedom, and expansion. So for months and months and months, that wasn't working for me. And then one day I'm sitting in my office and my husband walks by, and it's like 4 o'clock. I say, "You're home early." He said, "Yeah, I got laid off today." Ooh, okay. And I thought, well, okay. And he came back and he said, and I got 3 months severance. I said, 3 months severance? Are you kidding me? After 27 years? He said, nope, not kidding you. They laid half of us off today, and that's what they did. So, after a little indignation, a little commiseration, finally, I am pretty quick to see the bright side of things. So I saw the bright side, and a lot of positives there. Because a lot of things in our lives needed to change. So I thought, okay, this will be fine. He'll get a job soon. He's well connected, well thought of, great guy. And so, well, okay, this will be okay. Just, we'll be home all day. No. But anyway, that worked out fine. So 3 months later, severance runs out. It's Christmas time. And we tried to continue to live as normal, expecting that he'd have a job, okay, by then. And when he didn't, that's when I thought, okay. So, everybody says, oh, it's going to take him, at least a year to find a job at that level. Oh, nobody's hiring around Christmas, and on and on and on. I say, you know what? I don't believe that. I didn't want to believe that. I don't believe it. It takes as long as it takes. It doesn't matter who you are. Because in 3 months' time, he hadn't even had an interview. And that was eye-opening to both of us. Because when we used to apply for jobs, we would get them. And we'd stay a while in the company. So, needless to say, Christmas came and went. And January, first of the year, the economy was picking up. Okay, good. So he's out there. He worked his butt off looking for a job. I will give him credit for that. He was a role model and inspiration for me during that time. And he didn't get down very often either. I was very blessed. But all along, I kept pointing out the good things that were coming. Our son had to get a job in college. I worked in college, so that, to me, it wasn't a big deal. A relative that borrowed money couldn't borrow money anymore. Or at least I thought that. I was wrong a couple of times. And my husband was bored at his job. He said, well, I know, but I was making money. I didn't want to give it up, but he was bored. So he wasn't being stretched. And this is like the prime of his life. And it put a little sense of urgency on me to build my business. But for me, the urgency wasn't the right thing. That wasn't what I needed. But I found that out later. Down the road. So I'm going to fast forward a few months, and I'd be waking up in the middle of the night, a little anxiety, a little worry, and I wouldn't be going to bed thinking about it. I purposely didn't do that. And so I had to figure out, what do I do with this? Because this isn't helping me. My business is not helping me sleep. It's not helping me, be a vibrant marketer or anything. So what I did was I figured out I'm anxious, I'm worried about the money, obviously, So I said, well, how do I want to feel? And the answer was I wanted to feel secure, safe, like I did the day before he was laid off. And we all know no one's really safe or secure, but you can certainly feel that way. So I said, okay, well, let me go back to that day. Okay, I remember how that felt. So that feeling, I would put that on. I would try that on. I'd wear that every night to bed. And I'd put it back on in the morning when I woke up. And I did that for about 4 or 5 days. Next thing I know, I didn't wake up with anxiety anymore. So just changing that feeling, changing my vibration, put me more in alignment with what I wanted, which was more ease in building my business so that I could make the money to help the family out. Okay, so that was one little thing. And then our house kept breaking. Our beautiful home, had $25,000 worth of repairs done from September to May. From September to May, $25,000. And when a pipe burst and destroyed the master bathroom, and we had a $5,000 deductible, my husband said, I give. And honestly, that was the right thing. It just took him that long to get there, and I didn't force it. In the past, I would have forced the issue, but I knew we needed to move. Our savings was running out. Our unemployment was gone, which so we sold our house. It sold quickly. We got top dollar for it because it was the height of the market, and we moved and we're renting. I haven't rented in 27 years. I haven't rented. So that's a new experience, but it's wonderful. Air conditioner broke. I just called the landlord. I don't have to pay for it. You know, the faucet's leaking, call the landlord. It's awesome, and he's a really good guy. So we're blessed that way. So the things I want to share with you, I'm going to tell you my story. But it's what happened, what I did with it, and what happened all along, and how my responses to things affected the whole. And so it's holistic, yes. But the first thing, okay, so the anxiety went away. Then oh, yes, all summer long, my son was home. No, oh, we sent my son to Italy to study abroad. That's what it was. Okay, I knew that's the reason the college fund was so depleted. It cost about $9,000 at a time when I didn't feel like we had the money, and my husband said it's just an opportunity that won't come his way again. So we sent him, let him go to Italy, had a blast, and he had a blast. He did have fun. He loved Italy, and he was so grateful for that. And then he's back in school, and we're doing our thing. And Christmas Eve of the next year, my husband came out of the bedroom. I'm in the kitchen, and he says, just got a job. Really? Really? Just got a job offer, and which he accepted. And that was happy tears. It just exploded for me, happy tears. I don't cry often. And that's such gratitude. So the story doesn't end there, though, because he got a job paying less than he was making before, considerably less. He hasn't been there a year. We've missed 2+ years of bonuses. And I'm still investing in myself. There's things that I am looking for in mentors, and I am still investing in myself. So even though we sold our home, we lived off a lot of the equity. He's now making money. Every month, we're still in the negative with the credit card debt. I mean, we make it, but we have to borrow some from savings again. So I'm like, okay, this is not good because that won't go on forever. Keep going forever. And I'm going to tell you the 5 things I have here. The 5 key elements. Number 1, you can call it faith, you can call it belief. I call it positive expectancy. Well, number one, you have to know what you want. Know what you want. 90% of people don't know what they want. They know what they don't want. And guess what? Focus on that. See what you get. More of that. So 10% of people know what they want. And fewer than those actually go for it. So I'm just saying, number 1 thing is to know what you want. So if you're in the middle of a circumstance like we were, what did I want? That's very interesting because I wanted my business and I wanted the debt paid off. And it's funny that I would think my business would grow because I wanted the debt paid off, and it didn't start growing until after the debt was paid off. That was eye-opening to me because there's something inside of me that really was resistant to paying the money I was earning in my coaching business on the debt. So there you have it. The truth came out. You know, the truth did come out. So know what you want. So I wanted those two things, right? Then live in positive expectancy. Live, visualize what it is you want. Live with that as the outcome, and live from the place of how it feels to have that. Now, I know you've heard that over and over again, but let me share with you from my experience the debt. We could have paid off the debt maybe by the time we died. What I really prayed for was that we would pay off the debt in one lump sum. And I wanted it done in 2 years. And I thought that was huge, but then that was I could envision it. I didn't know how it would happen. You know, I thought even if I made $20,000 a month, it would take that long, and there wouldn't be any left over for fun, for investing, for hiring people. So that vision, I had two visions. One was having my coaching business, and the other, building my business. The other was the debt was paid off in one lump sum, not $1,000 here, $10,000 there. Pay it off. Didn't know how, and I had to let go of that. Did I believe it was possible? I did. I had no doubt it was possible. And I don't know why. I just had no doubt. Okay? So, unwavering faith. Unwavering positive expectancy. Because if you say, I envision it and I expect that to happen, and you don't believe it, that's not faith. So you have to have the faith and the belief to create the positive expectancy. Okay? Then, the next important piece is to get into vibrational alignment with what you want, which means get out of vibrational alignment with what you don't want, right? I didn't want the anxiety and the worry, because that just meant more struggle and anxiety and worry. So I need to get out of vibrational alignment with that. And the way to do that is through your feelings. Or a tuning fork maybe, but I don't know, what note does what. But I'm going to tell you what, you get on the feeling that you want to have, and magic can happen. But you have to believe in what it is you want. Okay? You have to hold that feeling, but you have to keep holding it until it stays for most of the time, right? So if you notice yourself slipping, if you notice yourself being a little irritated, aggravated, tolerating things, complaining, that's when you know I need to raise my vibration. How do I want to feel? You can use affirmations and mantras for this. What I find that does is it takes your mind off of where you were. And when you change the words are powerful. So when you change the words you use with yourself, things change. Okay. Affirmations, yes. Calm your mind. And affirmations over time are a good thing. Affirmations weren't my fastest path to feeling the way I wanted to feel. Okay. And so we went over knowing what you really want. And if you have difficulty with that, there's a lot of reasons. I had difficulty with that for years because I didn't know my top values. I didn't love myself. I wasn't worthy, in my opinion. Okay? So in order to know what you really want, you have to love yourself. You have to love yourself, which means sometimes you have to say no to other people. Sometimes you have to set boundaries. That means you have to be strong for yourself. And if you are out of a habit of that, you may have to get quiet and ask, what do I really want? What is it I want? Stop looking at others. Stop comparing everything with everything. Facebook, it makes it so easy to go and compare. You'll never measure up. Or you might be too good for people. And either way, it's a bad vibration. Okay? So sometimes people have baggage. You know, I am a DeMartini method facilitator, and this is really good at clearing out the baggage, the old emotional charges that you have, possibly from childhood, you know, from abuse, whatever. I grew up in a critical home and had a lot of scars, and I really worked on cleaning them up. So know what you really want, and that requires you to be still. That requires you to do some work on yourself. And then take action in alignment with your highest values. You know, if what you're doing or what it is you're wanting is not in your highest values, if it's not meant for you, it's going to be a struggle. So if it's a struggle now, it's worth taking a look at, right? I do an assessment with all my new clients. We do a values form, and it's pretty eye-opening sometimes what people say is most important to them and what shows up is most important to them. And then, so the action has to be in alignment with what it is you really want, which is in total alignment with how you really want to feel. I didn't want to feel frustrated and aggravated all the time trying to build my business. And my biggest frustrations were over technology. So that was my first hire, was someone to handle some of my technology for me. So set your goals and intentions and free yourself from the how. What is it you want? Not how are you going to get it. Just what is it that you want and how do you want to feel? Because if you're feeling the way you want to feel, chances are you have what it is you want, right? The universe knows the how. It's not up to you. And then gratitude. Gratitude flows through all of these tips because the positive expectancy, when I visualized the money is already here, the debt was paid off in one lump sum, I was grateful for that manifestation. I was grateful because actually there is no time. So now I manifest the perception of the time that the debt's paid off. Everything that you want is right here for you. You just aren't seeing it. And that's a hard one to get your little brain around, but it is. Okay? Gratitude runs through the changing your vibration, because even if you're griping about something and you laugh and just go into gratitude for anything, that changes your vibration. So gratitude's huge. How much you really want. And just be grateful for your life. Be grateful for your opportunities. And then go into that place of being, if you're not clear, meditate with gratitude for clarity. Okay, and then take action in alignment with your highest values. When you know your highest values, you can't help but be grateful, because it's at that point you have the clarity to know who you are and what's most important to you, and then it makes it easier to say no to other things and yes to yourself. Gratitude. I've been practicing since July. On gratitude, I've been practicing gratitude for years, but I've gotten more deeply into it, into all of these practices since July. But I wake up and fall asleep in gratitude. In the morning, it's a different version. I am grateful for my feet because they allow me to move my body. So I'm grateful for this because that. The other practice. I invited money in, and for I started tracking my money in October. Mastermind group. So create a relationship with money. Limiting beliefs? Oh yeah. Okay. Bye-bye. I'm going to go for now. I've got to do this again tomorrow.